To see the fully uncut version of this video, head over to patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons.
What's that like to live deliciously? Chaos reigns.
Please don't scream.
Nah, Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
What's going on? My name is Jonjo Lyons, and today I'm here to present to you my review for Evil Feed. Written and directed by all of these wonderful people. Evil Feed stars! A group of young martial artists infiltrate an underground pit fighting ring where the loser is chopped up and served in a Chinese restaurant. How's it going, my crazy crew of kung fu killers? It's that time again. Time to check out yet another brutally violent slasher movie. This week with a bit of a martial arts twist. Evil Feed is a super fun action horror comedy that goes the unique route of having fight scenes mixed in with the carnage. It's no surprise then this film was directed by Kamani Ray Smith, a prolific stunt performer and coordinator who's been in the industry since the mid-90s. And he certainly isn't afraid of blood because things get shockingly messy in this one. You're gonna love it. Also, interestingly, according to IMDb, this is actually a loose remake of Ryan Nicholson's Live Feed, with Ryan even getting a story credit. I wish I could have reviewed that film first, and most of other Ryan's films, but every time I do, I get hit with a false copyright strike by some bull company, so that ain't happening. Will you survive the fight of your life or end up on a plate? Let's find out. But before we get into all of that, I just want to remind you, you can see this video completely uncut and early at patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons for as little as $3 a month. $3! That's it. Want to see the uncut videos, gain access to the Discord, and see the Patreon exclusive reviews that can't be on YouTube anymore? Go over there now. Also, as returning viewers know, my short film Better Anything is currently doing the rounds at film festivals all over the world. And the amazing news is, we just won our first award. Thank you so much to the team at Rilla Thriller for awarding Better Anything the Bloody Seagull for Best Short Film. Honestly, it means so much, and I'm just so pleased. In shock, really. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. But yeah, to everybody that's already seen it, I really hope that you enjoyed it. It was a massive labor of love, and I'm so proud of what we came out with in the end. I'm currently writing my next short film, which we hope to put into production next year, and it's a lot messier. Things get wild in this one, but it's still depressing though, because apparently that's my brand. Better Anything will premiere on the YouTube channel on March 28, 2026, and I just cannot wait to show you all. I'm so excited. Honestly, thank you for everything. You guys are the best, and you changed my life, so really appreciate it. But anyway, I'm in the mood to taste something called a dicky roll, so let's not waste any more time. Get ready to see the goriest de-penising in the history of the channel! This is Evil Feed. The movie begins with the opening credits as we pan around this rather messy looking kitchen. These fellas are preparing some food when it's revealed to be human meat. On the way to the table, this blonde escapes her bag, so one of the cooks calms her all the way down. I bet she tastes delicious. The meat would be good too. We then meet the boss, who cusses out the cooks for not keeping the place clean when his son enters saying there's a guy named Fat here to see him. Cut to this smoke show Yuki as she gives Fat's full name.
Mr. Fat Fook, to see you.
Fat Fook.
It's Fat.
His name is Fat. Okay, so that's the type of comedy we can expect from this one then. Fat rolls in and it becomes clear he's there to buy the restaurant. The name, the recipes, and the restaurant's famous Dicky Roll. Yuki says unfortunately they're out of the Dicky Roll this evening and gets yelled at by the boss before nearly stabbing Fat.
I have an idea. Why don't I cut off her tits and serve it to you on a platter?
What the f*** are we in for with this one? Good lord.
Ha! Here you can eat.
Ah, boss didn't last very long. Now Boss Sun gets to own the restaurant and spooge into Yuki. Not a bad day. Cut to the title card and then to 6 months later as they're having a party in the restaurant, which is called the Long Pig, by the way. This party features drinking and a naked lady on a pole wearing a pig mask. Fun. And she is all the way naked. I mean, if you pause it just right, you can see where she's from. This fella, Tarasov, enters and is welcomed by Yuki, who is dressed much nicer this time around. She shows him the new upgrades to the gaff, then brings him to meet the new boss. Son. Boss Sun.
Mr. Tarasov, welcome back.
He tells Tarasov he runs the place now and introduces him to their new entertainment. Ugh.
We import martial artists to fight our in-house gladiators. And then after the fight, our guests get to bid on any body part they choose to dine on.
Free-range fight flesh. Fantastic. Tarasov then asks to see the boss to congratulate him on how well his son is doing, but those congratulations fall on dead ears.
Hi, Dad. An old friend is here to see you.
Sun then announces the next fight is about to begin and has Tarasov led away to his dining room. And one small detail I love here is when the doors close, they don't close all the way. Why is there a gap halfway up the door? Was there no fixing it on the day? Anyway, now on their own, Yuki whaps out her baldy and tries to get herself laid, but for some mental reason, Boss Sun says he's too busy. After some sexy staff play, he finally agrees to f*** her later after a meeting with the bookie and leaves.
What does a girl have to do to get laid around here?
My wife never has that problem. She so much as glances in my direction and I'm immediately covered in baby oil with anal beads hanging out of my arsehole like some sort of shitty tail. Then she gets to pull start me like a f***ing chainsaw. Cut to this fella calling out for his daughter Sheila and Sheila herself calling out for him. She tells him to look out when Boss Sun arrives with a cocktail. Cut to Sheila's dad getting pummeled in the ring. He tries to give up, but the giant instead goes for a fatality and rips his throat out. Why is he eating him raw? Why is he eating him at all? I want to try human just as much as the next guy, but not a man. I ain't gay. Cut to this woman, Jenna, taking a walk through a parking lot. She then pops her stuff in the trunk when she's attacked by this fella. That's when a car pulls up and a bunch of skelly boys jump out, attacking Jenna, who is apparently pretty good at kung fu. They fight until eventually Jenna is hit and someone yells cut. The director, Pete, runs in to check Jenna is okay before being pushed away by this fella, Nash, who then has a go at the other stuntman. It seems they're filming content for Jenna's father's dojo, which is a fun job. I wish I could get good at martial arts, but I'm too old now. And fat. And ugly. And I've got a small penis. Those last two don't really matter, but, well, you know, they add to the whole thing. So. Jenna goes back to the butthurt Pete makes up, then asks him to edit the footage with her, so they return to the dojo.
Dad! Sheila!
Wait, she just called out for Sheila and Dad's. That means the kidnapped people are her family. Ooh, and she can fight too. That giant motherfucker's in some trouble. Or, you know, he'll smash her teeth in, bite off one of her tits, and then f*** the hole where the tit used to be. I guess we'll find out soon. Jenna then goes to call home as Pete leaves Sheila a voice message. The rest of the fellas then enter with Jenna f***ing off with Nash to find her fam. Pete then looks like he's gonna cry, but Tyrone, that's his name. I'm not being racist. Has another idea.
First thing you need to know about being tough is just gotta act it, be it, live it. Your brothers need to know how to survive. Out there, there's no rules.
Cut back to the Long Pig as Tarasov finishes his meal. Yuki then brings him dessert, which appears to be this drugged up girl. They leave him to get acquainted as Yuki returns to Boss Sun and informs him that the bookie is here.
Hello, Stevie.
How are you?
Oh, Christ. I'm gonna hate this, aren't I? It's revealed here that the bookie was the one who acquired Papa and Sheila, with the next ones on his list being Nash and Jenna. Because apparently this fella only knows one family in town. Cut to the family home as Jenna continues to look for her father and sister. Nash isn't that concerned, instead trying his absolute best to get his end in, but unfortunately is knocked out, and after a brief struggle the pair are kidnapped. Cut back to the dojo as this super annoying bloke arrives to kidnap the rest of the crew.
Hey, you the guys that took our sensei, you pussy?
You pussy, doggy loses master?
This leads to another fight scene which ends with Pete being kidnapped. Tyrone is able to hang on to their leader, however, and attempts to beat where they took Pete out of him.
Last chance.
Cut to Nash in the ring. Watching this are Boss Son and a bookie who brings up another bloke he knows who wants to meet the restaurateur. He's a member of the Dragonflies who runs a similar establishment, and I'm sure that's going to be important for later. For now though, it seems Nash might be in a little bit of trouble. Oh shit! How's Nash gonna get out of this one? Oh, with not much difficulty. Also, the bookie left, Yuki tried to get laid again, and Boss Son rejected her again, which is mental, but whatever. Cut to the Kung Fu crew entering Jenna's home and finding it trashed. They then beat the shit out of the leader some more in slow motion to get the answers they want. That scene ends and we cut to Jenna waking up to find she's locked up with her sister who is super wasted. And I'm only now just clocking that Sheila was the one given to Tarasov as dessert, which is a shame, to say the least. This piggy then joins Nash and takes away Growler when a new combatant enters. Cut to the Kung Fu crew as they discuss how to break into the Long Pig. They decide the chunky one of their group should pretend to be a customer while the other two sneak in through the back.
If shit goes down there, I want you two to know that I'll be the first booking it out of there, okay? I am not gonna die a virgin, all right?
Oh, don't worry, mate. You're not gonna. Cut to tons of fun knocking on the door and blagging his way in. Once inside, he's able to also blag the hostess into taking him to a dining room as outside the other two try to find a way in. Back with Jenna, she tries to find out where her dad is when Yuki enters and grabs Sheila saying she has an appointment with the doctor. Jenna then asks where her dad is.
Where's my dad? Oh, your dad. He's right here.
No, not for me. Not for Jonjo. I feel like brain would have a weird texture. Yeah. Yuki then tells Jenna what she's gonna eat her with and buggers off out of there. Cut to the Kung Fu Kings gaining entry and then to Nash trying to survive. We then see the big fella being seated as he appreciates the hostess's jumbo yum-yums. He orders the house special as Nash continues to get his ass kicked. Jesus Christ, enough! He's already dead! Okay, now he's dead. Honestly though, when he flipped him over, I thought that was going to go differently. Holy mother of God, why'd you hate Nash so much, movie? Thoroughly f***ed up, Nash screams Jenna's name when the giant pops into frame wearing his face before eating it. Gross. If he'd taken the time to put that in an air fryer, it would have gone all nice and crispy, like roast chicken. Never mind. Jenna then bumps into Pete, who's apparently been sleeping in this room the entire time. He wakes up and they hug when we cut back to the kitchen as the Kung Fu cowboys inspect their surroundings. Tyrone wants to run in guns blazing, but his boy convinces him to take a stealthier approach. He then sneakily picks up the sensei's belt and wraps it around his fist before leaving. Cut to Big Boy as he tries to leave his room, but is instead presented with his dinner, the Dickie roll, which, as the smart ones of the class may have guessed already, is a cooked penis. Big Man then takes his seat and, of course, not knowing any better, eats the cock, which is pretty disgusting.
I think I've had this before.
He then leaves to find his friends before returning to grab the rest of his dinner. Cut to the Kung Fu compadres when Tyrone grabs the piggy looking for answers. Unfortunately, Carlos, that's his name, I'm not being racist, gets a gun put to his head by a henchman. Tyrone then gets punched in the plums as we cut back to Pete and Jenna.
When I was a little girl, after my mom died, I had trouble sleeping at night. So my dad got me this.
Basically, her mum's dead and her dad got her a crystal ball saying she'll always be with her or some shit. Yuki then enters ready to take Jenna to dinner, but Pete slaps her and calls her a slut, so she takes him instead. Yuki then chucks Jenna on the ground, ripping out some of her hair. She then leaves and we cut to the bookie meeting Mr. Dragonfly, who turns out to be Madam Dragonfly.
A beautiful woman.
I didn't hire you to insult me, Lucille.
Well, I guess I'm into that now. Take note, Cassidy. Bookie then tells Boss Son the Dragonfly is actually a lady, to which he has a very fair response.
Are you telling me that you haven't even met this person and you bring her into my restaurant? What if she's a cop?
She's not. He then warns Bookie if he makes one more mistake, he'll feed him to the giant fighter, then goes to meet the woman. Here, the pair greet each other when they're joined by Yuki. Dragonfly is immediately to poor Yuki, making her take her coat and then her off out of the room. The pair then go to sit as we cut to Bookie skittering about. He sneaks into Boss Son's office and starts looking around, eventually finding Boss's head. He's then jump scared by more cushion for the pushin', who says he's trying to find the bathroom.
Right. Around the corner, second door.
Bookie then takes a seat as we rejoin Boss Son and Dragonfly. They start getting to know each other and we find out she knows Boss Son killed the boss. She also talks about her restaurant in London, saying their special is nipple tartare, which sounds kinda delicious. Yuki stumbles on this and is justifiably concerned, but Boss Son her off, saying they're talking business. He then starts talking shit about Yuki, which she hears. Cut to the Bookie in the kitchen. He asks Fatty, that's his name, I'm not being waitist, whether he's preparing any dicky rolls, but is quickly ejected from the kitchen. So he must be looking for the recipe. How hard could it be? Get some pastry, stick a severed penis in it. Voila! Boss then explains his to-the-tainment. Fights, sexy things, and the program airing right now. Anatomy with the Doctor, as we see Sheila out cold on the table. The Doctor then slices into the girl, who wakes up unable to move as Dragonfly asks about the sexy things, which turns out to be the dessert specials. It seems Dragonfly would prefer Boss Son for dessert, and we cut to Yuki on the warpath. She bumps into our big cuddly bear, and seeing how tense he is, offers him her full body massage, which he gladly accepts. Back with the owners, they have some more flirty talk about their food when Dragonfly asks about the dicky roll recipe. He doesn't share, instead showing her the marinading room where they acquire the main ingredients. That's when they see Yuki enter with Big Fella, and Dragonfly makes her move. Cut to Sheila being stitched up and Bookie getting locked in a prisoner cell by accident. He then tries to get an early sample of Jenna when she grabs him. Bookie lies, saying he's also a prisoner, then immediately drops that in favor of getting a taste. Unfortunately for him, he gets too close and loses an ear, leading to Jenna beating him before biting his bottom lip off. She then stomps his head into a puddle. Fair enough. I mean, he was British. Cut to the Kung Fu Kids as they're approached by this happy little fella. They then start a fight with Carlos unfortunately losing his head. No, not Carlos! He was growing on me! We can't lose the good guys! Cut to Yuki in her underwear giving Big Man a massage. She then whips her tits out and tells Biggie to turn over, but he admits he's, excited. She tells him that's the point, and he does, revealing he has a monster dong. Yuki then jumps on and they both start having a grand old time. Also, Big Fella says he's a virgin here, which is an extra little detail worth knowing. Boss Son sees this on the TV and goes to intervene when Dragonfly stops him, instead getting a dicky roll all of her own. And unfortunately, this is where the good times stop for our dear old Tons of Fun, as Yuki messily removes his giant penis.
Balls.
I think that genuinely is the messiest de-penising we've ever had in the history of the channel, so congrats, movie. Also congrats to Tons of Fun for having such a monstrous thickie, while it was still attached to you, of course. Anyway, Boss Son busts, then sees he was being distracted from stopping the party, so slaps Dragonfly and takes off. Cut to Tyrone fighting for his life against Smiley, who he's able to finally knock out. And don't ask me what the f is going on here, because it's too dark to tell. That's one thing about this movie, the colour grade is so dark that when the characters aren't being blasted with light, you can't see shit. Cut to Jenna in her cell when she hears someone coming. As they enter, she drops a sheet on them and starts giving them a kicking before realizing it's Tyrone. Here they both update each other on their various friends' abductions and deaths. Jenna then asks what they're gonna do, and Tyrone says they need to wait as the big fella is their ticket out of here. Who, as you'll remember, had his penis cut off and was then drained of every drop of blood from his body. So, good luck with that. Cut to Boss Son finding our dead friend, and then to Yuki standing up to Dragonfly. Dragonfly then spills she sucked Boss Son off to completion, and so we get this pretty cool shot before another epic kung fu fight. Oh. Well, I guess a fight's a fight. Yuki starts slashing at Dragonfly's arms and is about to stab her in the face when she counters with a cut to the head. She then gets on top and starts strangling Yuki before catching the giant penis to the head. This doesn't work, however, so instead Yuki stuffs it in Dragonfly's mouth, then slashes her throat. Cut back to the cells as the door opens, revealing Sheila. They get the out of there and start walking the halls when they hear some screaming. They then turn back and are faced with this big motherfucker who kicks the shit out of Tyrone. He's about to shoot Tyrone when Jenna kicks the gun out of his hand, but then also quickly gets bodied. Tyrone then decides to choke the fella out, which works but is stupid. They then leave as Tyrone actually picks up the gun, and we cut to Boss Son confronting Yuki. He says he forgives her for that big beautiful and gives her a kissy. Then does this.
If you didn't fall apart so easily.
No, not Yuki! I said I wanted to see the inside of her, but not like that! Also, you were getting sucked off at literally the exact same time, dude. What the f? The arsehole then storms off, and we cut to our survivors sneaking through the kitchen. Tyrone steps to the cook and they have a standoff when the other cook suddenly chops off his hand. Ouch. One down.
Say no! Say no!
Yes, yes. Come on, movie. Come on. And that's 2 down. Now, can we please get the f*** out of this building? They tried to do just that, but are stopped by the annoying from earlier. Just as Tyrone is about to fight him, however, the giant beast man pops up and chucks our hero across the room. We then get a double fight scene as Jenna fights the annoying guy and Tyrone fights the beast. They split up and it looks like it's all over for Tyrone when Sheila saves the day with a bullet to the head. Annoying guy is then distracted by Big Boy's corpse and gets clonked, then has his face shoved into the gore where his penis used to be. Then, I guess, she drowns him in it, but as she goes to leave, gets punched by Boss Son. Cut to Tyrone taking the gun and then to Boss Son chucking Jenna in the ring. He does a villain speech about her ruining everything and how he's going to have to remodel his place while giving Jenna digs. Boss Son then takes a bite out of her but is stopped by Pete's sudden return to the film. He tells Boss Son to let them go, that it's over, and I think we can all see where this is going here.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up! You never listen to me!
Uh-oh. Turns out Pete is Boss Man's brother and had Nash kidnapped so that he could f*** Jenna, which is fair enough. Jenna then attacks Pete but catches a kick to the face. Boss Son is about to kill Pete when he's stopped with this excellent visual joke.
Back the f*** up, fool.
The severed hand still being attached to the gun is f***ing hilarious. It's probably the only joke that got me out of the entire film, so well done. Sheila then vomits up a bunch of eels and Pete caps Boss Son to hide his secrets.
When this kid was 8, he took a gerbil and he shoved it in.
Okay, that's 2. I love the fact that he asks why. Why? Why'd you think, mate? Tyrone then grabs up Pete for putting eels in Sheila when Jenna tells him to stop, that he's hers. Jenna then punches Pete to death. Tyrone finally drags her off and we see Sheila is dead, having not had that much to do in the entire movie. They then leave and the film comes to an end. The end! Well, that was pretty fun, and gory as f***. I had a great time. Evil Feed is a fun little genre mashup that is enjoyable, even if the comedy isn't quite my cup of tea. It also manages to be startlingly violent at times, which, as you know, is the key to my heart. The story is simple enough, with a restaurant using an underground fight league to entertain their guests, as well as using the losers' flesh to feed them. Then when a martial arts family are targeted, their friends must fight to save their lives. So, not really simple at all. The movie has quite a lot going on, with us constantly switching between characters, which made the breakdown kind of difficult to write. There's also Yuki, who's just desperate the whole time to get laid, the bookie, who I think was trying to steal a recipe, and Madam Dragonfly, who's trying to steal Boss Son away, I guess? I don't know. Oh, and also the reveal that Pete was the secret bad guy, which I'm confused about. Jenna and Pete were presented as best friends, so how long have they known each other? Did he keep his family a secret from her the entire time? And also, what's the deal with him randomly wanting to put animals in people's bellies? Anyway, apart from the bookie story, which kind of goes nowhere, everything is pretty nicely wrapped up by the end. Onto the characters, and there were just so many. I think my favourites would have been Yuki for obvious reasons, and Tyrone, who kicks a serious amount of ass. Least favourite characters would be any of them that went super hard with the comedy. Maybe Boss Son? I don't know. I'm a grumpy. Maybe you'll like it. Next is the gore, and holy mother of God, do we get some good stuff here. Obviously, we have the de-penising, but also get a cool face peel, some nasty stabbings, and a couple of good old-fashioned beatings to the death. I was really shocked by how far this movie went, and extremely thankful for it. Production-wise, everything is well done, with the only thing sticking out to me being the color grade. It was just so dark at times you couldn't see what was going on. It's not something that happens a lot, but it was frustrating when it did. In the end, Evil Feed is a bloody good time. It's got everything 13-year-old me would have loved and would make for a fun drunk watch. The comedy might be goofy at times, but it gets the job done. See it for yourself, but don't be too upset when Yuki bites it. Poor Yuki. So that was my review for Evil Feed. What do you lot think? I genuinely had a really fun time with this one, which is a welcome change after the horrible shit I've been reviewing recently. I'm surprised there aren't more of these horror martial arts movies, unless I've never heard of them. If you know any, please leave them in the comments below and I'll check them out. Especially if they're this bloody. Good lord. Speaking of which, if you want to see the Giant do his best impression of Leatherface completely uncut and early, head over to patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons. There you can find the uncut version of this review, plus others with more stuff being added every single week. We got the uncut reviews, Patreon exclusive reviews, / comic breakdowns, and the Discord. And all that could be yours for as little as $3 a month. You can pledge more, I really appreciate it, as I need that money to send my short film Better Anything to film festivals all over the world. As I've said before, that shit can get super expensive, so anything you can provide to help us do that would be massively appreciated. So that's it for another week. Like the video, leave a comment, and click subscribe if you haven't already. My name's Jonjo Lyons, and don't eat the dick you roll. It's got dick in it. The only thing I'll eat with dick in it is your mum. See you next time.